Alright, welcome back everybody to Empyrion Galactic Survival Multiplayer. I'm KnowItAllDM. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing great, hanging out today with FRAGaLOT. How you doing, Frag?
I'm doing good.
So, unfortunately, Goob and Cap can't join us today. Goob had something to do today, and Cap Cap hasn't been with us for over a month. We miss you, Cap. But we came in to the server today after an update, and all of our plants were dead with the exception of the these plant proteins and the natural stimulant, the kave beans. And so we've been busy trying to replenish our garden supply, and we've gone ahead and started replanting some stuff, and we're building some stuff up in the constructors and all. And meanwhile, we're also trying to build up the stuff that we need to get the Overlord spawned in. Now, I believe I've got, even though the size class is a size class 14 and it's redded out on the thing, I do believe it'll still let us spawn it in, because I believe I have the size class max set to unlimited on this server. If not, before we spawn it in, I can just go and change that. But today, what we're gonna do, okay, that's weird. See this? Or do you
no.
see do you see the stairs right here?
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't? I see the stairs.
I don't.
I'm missing the rail's not here. Oh, it probably wouldn't be because this is here.
Yeah. But yeah, there's no stairs here for me. So when we came in, there were some wonkiness going on here.
Paint it.
Let's just see. There we go. Paint it and it comes back. But because of the Unity upgrade, there is some wonkiness going on, visual wonkiness. But we pretty much fixed it just by recoloring things, and it'll fix it. But in any case, what our goal for today is we're gonna head down to the planet. We're going to put these tier 3 auto miners down and grab the ores from the tier 1 auto miners we have down already. And then I'm thinking we're gonna want to try to we've got some water generators that we are putting down right now, or that we are building up right now, which should now be in here. We've got 13 of them that we're going to put down and fuel up so that we can get a lot of water, because we're going to need water for the fuel cells and for oxygen and a whole bunch of stuff. But largely what we're doing today is going down to the planet and doing some upgrading and ore gathering and stuff like that. And so we're going to just go down. We're going to go down in the Mobile 3. We haven't taken the Mobile 3 out in a while, and I figured it's about time we take it back out for a spin. And yeah, we're going to do what we need to do. We've got the combat steel blocks building up, so we should be good on Sathium and iron. Silicon, cobalt, or silicon and copper we should be able to get from the planet's surface. Cobalt, I don't know if there's any cobalt on the moon. I think there is. We want to put down a cobalt auto miner as well. And then we've got a, what was it, a Zascosium one that we put down on the snow planet?
Maybe.
Last episode or the episode before, something like that?
Yeah. Well, that's coming in orbit, and...
Or was it a Sathium one?
I don't remember.
I think it was a Sathium one we did.
I can't get planet info on the next planet.
Okay.
That's the station. Down here.
Yeah, you click Natrius, planet info. I think it
doesn't have it.
It was Sathium.
That has cobalt.
It must have been Sathium that we put down. I believe the moon also has cobalt. Let's see. Ryla, sector list, Rylia moon, planet info. Yeah, the moon has cobalt as well. So
okay.
I've got a magnesium one on the moon, but we need a cobalt one. So we're gonna head to the planet. We're gonna be doing stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, hit the like button, and let's get into it. All right, so flight and docking are already on. Power on. And we're out. Okay. We can disable docking and cruise. So now we've got max thrust with a single thruster going. We could technically turn that off because I have the cruise set with the shift W. But
actually, it says cruise is off to me. That's what's funny.
yeah, it's on to me, but because you're not in the pilot seat, it'll say off for some reason.
Why does it even bother telling me that it's on or off if I'm just in the passenger seat?
I don't know. But once we get into the planet, we're going to, first thing I think we ought to do is look for the water gen and see if we can put some of those down.
Did you mark it on your waypoints?
It ought to be already marked in there, not as a waypoint, but it should show the icon.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let's level out so that we don't crash into the planet. Wow, it's really jumpy. This radiated fog is playing havoc with the FPS.
Yeah, I'm getting 70 frames.
There we go. I was
60,
getting about
70.
5. Now I'm getting about. I'm getting between 25 and 45. It keeps jumping up and down. Okay. I don't know if you still have this problem sometime, like when you're using the exterior view and you hit Alt to look around, and sometimes it'll like jump around. Like, yeah.
It was happening right when you're talking about it.
They've actually had that problem since pre-alpha, and
since forever.
Yeah. I don't know why they have not fixed it, but
it has to do with what's going on in the environment. Because if you go to other, like on Iron Man, we're on that desert planet, and it barely does that because there's barely any foliage on the planet.
Right.
So it's not that bad, but on this planet, which is full of plants and trees and stuff, it happens constantly.
Okay, I don't see the auto or the water gen. It should be right around here, but it's not.
I have no map markers other than just the stuff that's already here that we discovered.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a whole bunch that I put down. I've got radiated biomes. I've got the auto miners. I've got oases put down. So.
But you don't see any well, you have the auto miners, but you don't see the water gens listed.
There's the water gen. The water gen is over here. Okay. In fact, the water.
Sure.
I wasn't looking, but the water generator is the only actual waypoint I have. The rest are just little markers.
Oh.
All right, so we're headed over there to the water gen. It was a house icon, and I was looking for the water generator icon.
What do you use for the water generator icon?
Well, the water generator icon's the automatic icon that it puts on there. Yeah. And
right, that one. Okay.
That's what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for the big yellow house.
Hostile. We're honored with the Zirax, so that's good.
Yeah, we're honored with the Zirax and hostile with the Talon and the Polaris. I'm thinking what we need to do is we need to, once we get the Overlord up and running with all the stuff, just go around, wipe out everybody. Wipe out Polaris, wipe out the Talon, wipe out the Zirax, and I'm pretty sure, because since this is a server and everything, that they will regen, so. Alrighty then, we are here.
2 of them, huh?
Yep, looks like we got 2 of them. We'll be putting 13 more down.
15.
All right, let me connect to the Mobile 3 and then put these in the yellow because I like the yellow.
Other faction.
Yeah, I had a feeling that it would be. All right, they all should be allow faction access and everything. So we've got water generation production right here. You see, I think they need to have a higher tier water generation production facility, which is like the water generator would be connected to, you'd have to connect it to a base, and but also have
the Wi-Fi.
But also, well, no, specifically like have it a base block, and have it so that you would have to build a base over the water, connect that to the base on the water, and that way you would use the base's fuel to keep it going, and it would work like a generator or a constructor where you select a box for it to put the water into.
A cargo box.
That way you could have it put the water directly into a cargo box, and then have a constructor automatically making it from water into oxygen, or water into, hydrogen.
Or put them into a fridge so that your food constructor can make food.
Yeah. I mean, and so you could have if you had like 2 or 3 water generators on that going to different boxes for different things, or have them all going to one and have like a fuel processing plant where all you have to do as a player to keep it going is keep the base on and continually go and put promethium in a certain box that it'll be pulling from the the box in the water for the advanced constructor to turn into say hydrogen fuel, and then that puts it in another box which also has promethium, or the hydrogen fuel goes into a box where you put the promethium, and then you're automatically turning those into fuel cells. You know? And that would be cool, especially if they had like a automatic fuel processor device which works like a furnace, automatically turning promethium and hydrogen in it into fuel cells, and it would be like a high tier device as well. Just more automation is what I want in this game.
Yeah. So what are the drills we have?
Right now we've got copper, 1 iron, 1 silicon, and we're headed over to them now.
We don't have one for promethium?
Not yet, but I've got 5 tier 3s, and so what I'm going to do is we're going to empty out the tier 1s that are on the things over here, and put a tier 3 down on each of them, and then we're going to find a promethium deposit, which there are 7 of them.
Yeah.
I'd like to find one either in no territory or in Zirax territory. And
yeah, there's one that's north of us, but that's in Polaris territory.
There are 3. I want to find a medium or large one, though.
Small.
There are 2 medium ones, but they only have 80 and 40% left. Let's see, the Polaris territory. I think we may have to use small ones, because the medium ones.
The 2 mediums are just out in the middle of nowhere.
But they've already been mined.
Yeah, I'm sure this isn't faction because I don't see it. Oh, you did. When you build the higher tiered auto miners, does it build the other 2 first?
I don't think so. It might, but I don't think so. I can check when I get back.
Yeah, because you know how it does that for like when you want to build a tier 2 drill, it uses the tier 1 drill off of it.
Yeah. And it does the same for other devices like the constructor and such too, so.
Can't access.
Now you can. The silicon,
I can.
The silicon you can't, because I forgot to do that, so I'm going to go back and change that.
Okay.
this one forward thruster isn't very powerful.
It's just by itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shot for that cricket.
What cricket?
Okay. It's okay. They'll just make more.
Okay, and then the last one we need is the
Copper.
which is over this way. You see, I also chose the 3 largest deposits for iron, copper, and silicon to put the miners on, because that way it will have the best fuel
It's
thing.
just small to me.
That's because they were only small coppers. Because the only medium one we had already mined in. Okay. All right, now I guess we move to the moon. I'm thinking next multiplayer season that we do, we're gonna activate the weight and volume, or mass and volume.
Oh joy!
Because I like the system, even though it's a little bit more annoying.
I like the logistics. The logistics are fun. I like that.
I like the weight and mass. For the main reason I like it is because it's more realistic. That's pretty much it, you know.
Kind of.
It's more annoying. Well, it's more realistic than being able to carry an unlimited mass of stuff, you know. And I've been, ever since Alpha 1, I've been wanting them to put in a mass or weight limitation for you, like for your carrying capacity and such like that. I don't know if you noticed this, but heavier armor lets you carry more on your character.
Oh, really? I haven't found any yet.
Because you're without armor, you can carry up to 500. With light armor, you can carry up to 600. Medium armor, you can carry up to 650, and heavy armor, you can carry up to 700.
But the armor itself doesn't weigh you down.
Well, it does.
As long as you're wearing it. As long as you're wearing it.
It does factor in the 2 SU for your volume, but it's only 2 of the 400, 500, 600 that it counts.
Oh, it's only 2?
Well, for light armor, it's only 2. I don't know about let's see. Heavy armor is 6.
I'm wearing light.
Yeah, heavy armor is 6 SU. I'm guessing medium armor would be 3 or 4. So it's not that massive. It just, but it increases your carrying capacity by more than it takes up.
Is there only a real problem in the very beginning of the game, like before you get a base started?
Yeah, well, definitely. And then later on, like the heavier devices, like the constructors and such, you have to use logistics to put down, which I like because I never thought it made sense for you to be able to carry this massive constructor with you, Yeah.
Or you can just spawn a massive space starship out of nothing and have it plop right in front of you. That's different.
You can still do that though. I mean, because it's in the factory, which is a non-existent. Right now, the factory is it's a mechanic of the game. Later on, I believe they're going to make it some kind of physical thing. Either you have to build or spawn or something to build your ship, like a dry dock or something. I think for larger vessels, you will. For like small vessels and hover vessels, I think they're going to have something like you might have to build a base with like a small platform or something that you can then spawn it on. But it will have the same workshop, mechanic. It's just in order to build it, it has to be built on this specific device or something like that.
Oh, we can mine more pentaxid if we want to.
Yep, because I'm thinking about putting a pentaxid.
There's one south of us.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We've got.
It's very well.
Very
all
small,
Pentact's very
very
small.
small.
They're all very small.
On occasion, you'll have a small.
Very small. Very small.
All the ones I see are very small.
Yeah. Well, those two are right next to each other.
Okay, so what we're looking for is we're looking for a Cobalt next to a Pentaxid next to a Promethium. And we want the Cobalt to be...
Well, there's one that's next to Iron, Promethium, and Pentaxid, sort of. That's up north.
Yeah. Cobalt. I'm also trying to find a medium or larger Cobalt deposit. And that's where we would want to put it down. I'm thinking, why do I have a couple of things discovered in areas I haven't discovered? But that's because when we went around separately...
I can't find anything bigger than small for Cobalt.
Yeah, I know. And we have discovered there are 5 Cobalt deposits and they're all small. So I'm not going to worry about its size anymore. So there's
we should do a magnesium one too.
I've already got a magnesium one down that I'm thinking about that I'm going to be changing out. But right now we only have 2 tier 3 auto miners and 1 tier 1 auto miner on me. So I was going to put the Promethium and Cobalt as the tier 2 ones and the Pentaxid as a tier 1 and leave the Magnesium as a tier 1. So this is the Magnesium deposit that we have auto mining. Okay, I found where I'm going to put these unless there's... no, that's a very small... Okay, we can put that up there. That's a small... Look at the Promethium ones and see if you can find something medium or larger.
See, I mean, there's 5.
Promethium, yeah, there are 5. I think they're only small and very small.
Small. Very small.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to...
So if you're going all the way north, there's a small next to an iron, next to a Pentaxid, next to a power station. But you're gonna hit that Cobalt one first, right?
Okay, I'm going next to the crashed Sentinel radar. I don't know if you see that. It's up north. I've already got an auto miner on a Magnesium up there. I'm going to put a Promethium and Cobalt, which are right next to each other, up there. And then the Pentaxid one is probably going to be the one directly south from there, or the one directly west from there in Zirax territory.
I have less than half the planet explored.
Let's stop by the auto Magnesium first because it's got the auto miner that may already be depleted. We need to fill it up. And I don't know if you see where the hover vessel is on top of that iron deposit, the very large iron deposit.
Yeah, though I see a large iron deposit that's up north that we're passing by.
I've got the hover vessel on the very large one. I'm thinking about putting down an auto miner tier 3 on there later as well, so that we can get a very large deposit going.
I don't... Is that the miner thing that you built that's like a pyramid kind of? Yeah, I don't see it. Probably because it's not faction anymore.
Let's double check. It's out of range. I can't open the control panel because it's out of range.
Yeah, you should be able to, like, even if you're completely out of range of any of your stuff, you ought to be able to access the constructors and queue up builds, but not be able to actually get the stuff.
Well, I think what they ought to do is if the device you or the structure / ship you're trying to access has a specific device on there that extends the range of it, that you can. So like put like an antenna, you know, something like that, a communications antenna.
Wi-Fi.
Well, Wi-Fi is more for directly, you know, right there, for being able to access it from nearby. Whereas if you had like a large antenna, it wouldn't be able to access the Wi-Fi, but you could access the constructors and the control panel. All right, so over here is where we're going to put the Promethium and the Cobalt. It's a small Promethium and a very small Cobalt, or maybe a small Cobalt. I think they were all small, weren't they?
Pretty much.
So small Cobalt, small Promethium. But with the tier 3s, it ought to give us what we need. Okay, now let's see. I'm gonna go to the Pentaxid south of us.
Okay.
And that's where we're gonna put the
Oh, that's what we're talking about, the Crash Sentinel right there. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm gonna put the tier 1 auto miner on the Pentaxid deposit down here.
I need AFK for 1 minute. Be right back.
All right.